Fellow congregation members of the church, all people do this damn mother as an evil, rotten, decrepit, low down, despicable, foul-mouthed monster. I realize that monsters like this do not have a place in heaven. And I also realize that hell simply will not have them because they don't want a motherfucker like this trying to take over. Pardon my language. But it must be said.
It's another beautiful day to be a raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation. And you come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring them.
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from the friendly confines of Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And just where is that, might you ask? Well, let me give you some simple directions, shall we? I know it's a little late in the evening, so a good landmark always helps everybody. We're just down the street, past the house, with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop at the corner and ask my man Joe. He's a gentleman, he's a scholar, but damn it, most of all, he's a man of commerce. Sipping what you should. He's gonna point you in the right direction. He's gonna tell you to take a left, and then a right. And as you find yourself strolling down the street, minding your own goddamn business, a cool breeze will hit you that chills you right to your skeletal core, and you'll find yourself asking, was that the autumn wind? Oh, you goddamn right. Should you venture down that deep dark alley? Well, of course you should. Because what you're going to find at the end is a special little place that we like to call deep behind the enemy lines. This is Raider Reaction, as it is every Wednesday, or at least how it should be every Wednesday. You know, when the Facebook ain't fucking with us doing House of Mirrors and shit, crazy nonsense and what have you. It is Goes to the Post with Prime and the Commish as we drop back deep in the pocket and let it fly league-wide. And I am joined by the Raider Reaction resident sports guru, the one, the only, Prime, via audio, unfortunately. What's up, Prime?
What is up, Commish?
All right, so unfortunately, we did not get Prime on via video feed. Still having some technical difficulties getting Ghost to Post back to its superior form, but hopefully by next week we'll have it figured out, Prime, and we'll be back up and running. But it doesn't mean the show cannot go on.
That's right, that's right. I'm here by phone. I'm here somehow or another. Man, I'm telling you, maybe we should just start doing this thing in the same room because Facebook does not want us to be apart, apparently, or want us to get together.
In studio would be fantastic. I absolutely agree. Oh, Keith, I love it. My Rays are putting the fucking Spanx on the Stros. We'll get to that later. All right, Prime. It was a glorious weekend for the Raider Nation. You watched it. The world watched it. The world was shocked. That's the Raiders winning to Arrowhead and handle business. What are your thoughts on that huge? I would say it's the biggest upset of the season by far. I think it's the biggest upset so far through 5 weeks. What did you think about the Raiders Kansas City game this weekend?
All right, so, I mean, the Chiefs were the Super Bowl champions. They were coming in, undefeated, So, I guess the Raiders weren't given much of a chance. I admit, I did not give them a whole lot of a chance. I did sort of break down how I thought the Raiders would win the game. I figured it would be with more Josh Jacobs running the ball than it would be, Carr airing it out. Who saw that coming? Nobody did. So, I mean, just the way the Raiders won, it was like, man, I'm going to invoke the spirit of Al Davis right now, man. It was like Al Davis was looking down upon that stadium in Kansas City and said, you know what, today we're going to air it out. And all of a sudden, Carr is launching the long ball like I have never seen him actually do before. I mean, they had plays over 20. I think they had 5 plays over 20 yards.
Yeah, that was. It was a. I wanted to see it, man. I was very critical of the play calling the week before, and to see him come out and take the leash off the offensive play calling, I loved it, man. That's what this team needs. I mean, you went out and get the speed. You got to use it.
Yeah, I mean, Gruden is known to be a lot more conservative, and like for him to actually step his game up into 2020, basically into the modern football era, and actually launch that ball. I mean, Ruggs had a hell of a game. I did not see that coming. Ruggs had a sort of rocky beginning, man. Like he was a bit inconsistent. Then he kind of got a little nagging injury, but this game, man, he blew up. It was like, you know what, Tyreek Hill? I'll see your Tyreek Hill, and I'll raise you a Henry Ruggs. That's what happened there, Vegas style. Yeah, it was awesome. He was only targeted 3 times, Prime, and the one was the circus catch over the head of the defender, and the other one was the big bomb to the touchdown for the touchdown. So, I mean, great production out of Ruggs. It was definitely his coming out party. But what do you think about Nelson Aguilar, Prime? I mean, this guy was cast away last year. I mean, the Eagles didn't want him anymore, and he's a shining star right now. Yeah, Nelson Aguilar, after leaving the Philadelphia Eagles, I figured it had to be because he lost a step, because maybe he was just a shell of the wide receiver that he was before. But maybe it's a new time zone, a new lease on life or something for Nelson Aguilar, because now all of a sudden that guy scored a touchdown, I think, in the past 2-3 weeks or something like that straight. Yeah, he's got the same amount now. Then he's there and he's open.
He's got the same amount. 5 touchdowns now is the same amount of his total of the entire last year. He's already got it through 5 weeks of this season. Of course, he's healthy this year. That helps. I mean, he wasn't 100% healthy a lot of the year last year, and obviously that's gonna hinder your production. So, but man, he's resurrected in the silver and black thus far, and there's been a long line of folks that have done that. So maybe, hopefully, big things for Nelson Aguilar keep coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking like Willie Galt out there. Catching touchdowns.
Willie Galt. Dipping back. Going way back.
Hey, I've been here a minute, man.
So, that, the Raiders get this on a nice one. The Chiefs got a tough one. They got Buffalo on Monday night coming off of the loss. And the Raiders get to go sit and relax for 2 weeks and get to come out in prime time on Sunday night against the Bucs and Tom Brady in Vegas. The return to Vegas. Yeah. I think that right there, Prime, I think it sets up the Raiders' season. Because after that, you've got the Browns, the Chargers, and the Donkeys. So if you can handle business and come out feeling like world beaters out of Sunday Night Football, with those 3 games sitting behind you, man, you could be looking at some nice things in Las Vegas.
Yeah. And see, the thing is it's not so much that the Raiders won, but it's the manner in which they won. They put up a 40 burger,
Yeah.
up against the Chiefs. 40, that's scoring. That's touchdowns, man. That's big plays. If they can keep that up, I hope they go to practice and run nothing but fly patterns all day long, man, because those wide receivers are fast and they are getting open. All Carr has to do is let it fly. If that's not what they're doing for the next 2 weeks while they've got time off and they're COVID-free, then they should just sit there and practice those fly patterns, that post, the flag, all that. Just go deep, deep, deep. And
I agree. That vertical game, man. That's something the Raiders of the 60s and 70s lived and died by. That it was, you'll turn the ball over. We're gonna take the ball and we're gonna gash you deep the next fucking play. It's always been the vertical game. Cliff Branch, freaking Blitnikoff. From way back. That's Stabler lived and died by it. That's the Mad Bomber. That's the pedigree of this team. So to see him go back to that, it's been something we've been missing. I don't mind the dink and the dunks and the high percentage passes, but when you get it, you get that opportunity, you got to gash a team. You got to go. You got to gash them, especially when you got the speed.
Yeah, and I can't help but notice that Brian Sweet says, the 40 burger was sweet, but holding KC to 8 points in the second half was sweeter. And that's for damn sure, man.
Oh,
because
he's right.
It was a duel. It was a shootout. Like to take all the tools away that Kansas City has, 4 touchdowns or 4 scoring. They've got that shiny new running back and Hilaire, and they've got Tariq Hill, and they got the tight end Kelsey, and Hardman is a hard man to tackle. They like to say down there. To take all of those weapons that have been put around Patrick Mahomes and basically shut them down for the second half is absolutely amazing. That's one of the better, even though they still scored 32 points overall, it was still a gutsy defensive performance by the Raiders.
It was a big time performance in that second half, Prime. Huge. They slowed him down, man. They held him. Yeah, 8 points in that second half. That's punt, interception. That's solid. And the fact that you figured out how, you watched the week before the Patriots really give you a good game plan as how to beat the Chiefs. Because they made Mahomes look pretty pedestrian the week before, and they had themselves late in the game and a chance to actually win and take control of that game with Brian fucking Hoyer at center. And so they kind of almost showed you that if you just kind of contain Patrick Mahomes, you keep him in there, and you play some good defense, some decent coverage, get some good corner play, you can hold this guy, and you can contain him. And it's kind of what the Raiders did. They almost did what the Patriots did the week before, but to a little more efficiently. And, of course, they had a better quarterback than Brian Hoyer. That fucking helps. That's for damn sure. So...
Yeah,
the biggest
big win.
Yeah, it was a huge win. So enough on that, Prime. The biggest news, probably league-wide, that dropped within the last 24 hours was the release of Le'Veon Bell. He gambled on himself, set out an entire year to end up a Jet. I didn't think that was, probably the card that he wanted to end up with after his little play there. But he came out all right financially, being released, Prime, but did he trade money for a chance at a championship? I think that's the big question you got to ask.
It seems like he did, because going to the Jets, he went to the Jets, 2-3 years ago now, and the Jets on offense have been laughable for damn near a decade. And I'm going to talk from a fantasy perspective for just 1 second. I actually went by the rule that I would not draft or even pick up off the waiver wire any Jet offensive player.
They're fucking terrible. You can't count on them. Yeah. They're hit or miss, which is the Jets in general.
Robbie Anderson was a wide receiver for the Jets last year, and now he's with the Carolina Panthers and catching touchdowns from Teddy Bridgewater. Like,
Yeah, and
man, I mean, this is a chance for Le'Veon Bell. Like, he's going to come out winning on this, I think, because there are plenty of contending teams, right? Teams that are on the, they're going to make the playoffs, or, maybe they're a player away. But Le'Veon Bell could definitely fill that role, or maybe all the hurt running backs and such that have been peppered all over the league. There's definitely a role for Le'Veon Bell. One of my favorite Le'Veon Bell stories, though, real quick, is him and LeGarrette Blount rolling down the streets of Pittsburgh in a damn convertible with the top down, the sun shining, and the Blunt just ablaze.
yeah, fucking blazing. I mean, when you roll with a guy named LeGarrette Blount, there's some weed getting smoked. I'm just saying. So.
With LeGarrette Blount, man, yeah. Whatever happened to him? I wonder is LeGarrette Blount still in the league?
Oh fuck, I don't know. He just shows up and they hand him 1-yard touchdowns and he gets rings. I mean, that's all that dude's been doing here lately. But yeah, I'm curious to see where Le'Veon Bell pops up. He made enough money over his time with the Steelers, and then he completely fleeced the fucking Jets. That money's, you wouldn't really think's his driver at this point. So you could possibly get Le'Veon Bell a little on the cheap and bring in a very dynamic running back to a team that's maybe just missing a piece or a piece or two. So I'm curious to see where he ends up. I see a lot of people wanting to bring him over to the Raiders. I have no idea fucking why. You've got Josh Jacobs, and Devontae Booker has been killing it behind Jacobs, and you got Rashard. So why you want to bring? I guess if you could get him on the cheap, just because he is Le'Veon Bell, but I don't think if you're a team that's doing well on offense at this point of the season, I don't think you bring a wild card like that in that could fuck up your mojo. I don't know.
Not a chance. I mean, the backfield is fine in Vegas. They don't need. Yeah, Le'Veon Bell is not on their list of needs, man. Maybe if he played cornerback or something.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, running back. I don't see when fucking Devontae Booker just last game went over fucking like 8 yards a carry. He was killing it last game. He's looked great spelling Jacobs every time he's had to. He's one that's made me crow this year for sure, because I was questioning that signing in the offseason. He's looked great. He's been fantastic. You don't even miss a beat when he's on the field spelling Booker or spelling Jacobs. So yeah. It's going to be interesting. I think there's a few teams, what did you say, already in the that are high in the lead for the ones that would possibly use his services, Prime?
Yeah, so there's 6 teams right now that are bidding for the services of Le'Veon Bell. It looks like Buffalo is one of them. I know they've had a hurt running back, but they really just go with Devin Singletary, so I'm not sure why Buffalo would be after him now. The Bears, who just lost Tariq Cohen for the season, and who else do they have? Like David Montgomery, the Bears, now they're going with Nick Foles. They can bring in Le'Veon Bell, and in fact, they've even had Cordell Patterson at running back as of late, so they need some help. Now the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts are interesting.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers, man, they should bench that dude.
Oh my God, fucking Quivers comes over and he just Colts fans are just dying to please somebody call Andrew Luck, please. We got a team finally. We got a line. Now we ain't got no quarterback. It's man. It took them too long to get a team around Luck, and they killed him before they could fucking get a team around him. Unfortunately. So, but yeah, Rivers is not. This ain't gonna be a swan song as a Colt. That's for damn sure. Not looking good.
Now they're also talking about the Chiefs getting Le'Veon Bell, even though they do have Clyde Edwards-Helaire there.
Do they have the money? Do they have the money? Because I know they're pretty strapped. I don't know how they'd. I don't know if they could swing that. I guess you could make some moves. You release a couple of guys and free up some money and do some things. But I'm not sure this far into the season. I know you got to be pretty interesting. You got to be pretty creative with the moves you got to make to be able to free up that type of money to make moves this time of the season. So.
Yeah. Now the 49ers are also looking at him. They've had a bunch of hurt running backs as well. So
Yes, they have.
I mean, they've got a bunch of hurt players, period. So I guess any able body will do. Le'Veon Bell happens to be one. But lastly, the Steelers are an interesting option as well, going back to where he came from. I mean, they got James Conner there, who's been okay. But, like, I'm sorry, James Conner is no Le'Veon Bell. I mean,
No.
when he was with the Steelers, this guy was a multiple position threat. I mean, he could line up in the backfield, he could line up in the slot or out wide and make plays at all three of those positions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Jets had no idea how to use Le'Veon Bell. So if he went back to Pittsburgh, that would be pretty interesting. And, yeah.
Well, I don't know if he'd go back to Pittsburgh because I think a part of the reason that like him and Antonio Brown both left around the same time was Roethlisberger. I don't think in the locker room. I don't think those guys cared for Roethlisberger. I think he's a little bit of the it would be the catalyst that drove them out there. So as long as he's still there, I don't know. But if he would go back,
the Steelers think they're good right now.
they do.
And they think they've got, like, championship hopes. Their defense is playing really well, and, you know, Ben Roethlisberger does what he does. But with them thinking, I don't know, making a deep run into the playoffs, and that might be a pretty enticing picture once again for Le'Veon Bell after that. So, I don't know. I don't think he would go back to Pittsburgh, but I could see why he would if he did.
Yeah, I don't either. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. So, all right. Well, moving on. Let's take a second. I'd like to thank you all first for watching. Every single one of you guys in the audience there, all of you that are throwing up comments, stopping in. We appreciate any second you guys spend with us here at Raider Reaction. Always. Without you guys, we would be nothing, just a couple schmucks here talking to ourselves. So thank you for stopping in. As always, appreciate you guys. Make sure you check out our two official sponsors that we have right now here at Raider Reaction, RaiderNationStore.net. Ralph's got patches, cans, face coverings, freaking flags. Man, he's got all kinds of shit. Check that out at RaiderNationStore.net. He's official sponsor here at Raider Reaction, as well as ModoSports.com, MODO/sports.com. It's the official sports apparel company of the Violator, Raider Nation OG superfan. He's the official sponsor of Raider Reaction as well. Check out his custom line of sports apparel at MoDo/sports.com. And if you think, I know some of them think they got it prime. Think they got these skills on the sticks. They can play some Madden. If you're playing Madden 21 on PS4, because we're all adults here, no Xbox. You know, your ball should have dropped by now. You should have stepped up to a man system. So if you on PS4, you're playing Madden 21, and you think you got some game, we've got a Darren Waller autographed cleat and a big badass box full of fucking silver and black swag from RaiderNationStore.net, Motorsports.com, Raider Reaction, and some stuff from my personal collection. All of that, plus an autographed Darren Waller cleat in a double elimination all Raiders silver and black tournament. Games kick off November 1st. If you are interested in getting in the tournament, it's a $30 buy-in. League's about half full. If you're interested in getting in, send your email to the Raider Reaction Facebook page. We'll get the invoice out to you, get you locked in, added in the chat. If everybody else is, we're getting the league geared up here. We'll be doing a live drawing show for all the first round matchups, and we'll be getting that thing kicked off November 1st. So if you are interested, message the page and get in. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and join the official group of Raider Reaction. The Raider Reaction Empire. Come to the dark side. Sorry, I was reading fucking goddamn comments. Trying to follow along with the Rays game.
Oh, Rays are down.
Rays are down. That's all right. We're up 3-0, so.
What inning?
I don't know. I should have the score up here. Hold on. Let me get the score up so I can follow along. I should be. We're down 4-2. Fuck them. The Rays sat a whole bunch of players today, and anyway, when you can rest players in the ALCS, that's a good fucking thing, man. When you're already up 3-0, and you're like, Kiermaier, you take the day off. Lau, you take the day off too. You know, you're two of your best players. You're not even playing them. That's how concerned we are. Fuck them. That's what I think about the Stros, cheating bastards. Go bang a trash can, you motherfuckers.
Man. Is my ball and my word, and I don't break them for no. You understand?
Hey, Nancy, Raiders girl, we're all over here not caring about the Dodgers. You know, they were down 2-0. They had to do something today. O'Day's about to get fucking rode out of town on a rail. So, yeah.
Yeah, they arrested Kershaw and got lucky. Woo!
Yeah, we'll see what you gotta come back. You gotta dig out of it. You ain't even out of the hole yet. You quit talking. You're still down 2-1. All right, we're over here up 3-0. We're resting players. See, totally different scenario. All right, moving on. Talking about different scenario, Prime. When your foot gets put on backwards on your leg and you're a football player, that's not a good thing. It's really not a good thing when you're a quarterback. Dak Prescott just gets, they labored all offseason whether this guy was going to get the money. Are you going to give him the big contract? Is this our guy? Is he our guy for the future? They finally give him the money, decide he's the guy, and he gets his fucking foot put on backwards in week 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he got franchise tagged.
Yeah. So he's,
so he got some money.
He got some money, but
the sad thing was is they couldn't get over 4 years or 5 years. Like Dak wanted 5 years, and the Cowboys are only offering 4 years. And now, man, you wish you would have taken that 4 years. That 4 years would have guaranteed a lot more than what he's guaranteed right this second.
yeah, he's man, that was a bad injury, and Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, is standing in the wings, ready to take the reins. I mean, he got cast away by Cincinnati, and he fell right into a fucking pile of gold there in Dallas. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, he ended up winning the game for him, and the next thing you know, they're putting up stats showing how many fourth quarter comebacks the guy has had in his career.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, all of a sudden Andy Dalton's
Andy
going to be your
Dalton
fucking
is
savior.
serviceable, but now they're just going to, all right, so we got to, Andy Dalton will get them to 8-8, just like they would have been with Dak Prescott, so.
Yeah, the Cowboys ain't going nowhere. Although 8-8 may be enough to win the NFC East, because that is a fucking dumpster fire of a division. So it could even be enough to pull it out. Who knows? Somebody has to go from that division. Who's it gonna be? The Giants? That Washington team?
Nah, the Washington football team, the Eagles are the prime suspect there. Depends on the health of that team. They always have health issues. But ultimately, I'm going to say this, man. I am a fan of sports and competition, and I prefer to have sports have, integrity and fairness and such. And it does pain me to see when a professional athlete such as Dak Prescott take an injury like that. I've seen quite a few of them. I mean Joe Theismann, Alex Smith, was terrible. I even saw the video of Teddy Bridgewater's injury when he was with Minnesota. I saw Sean Livingston. He's a basketball player. He won a championship with Golden State. Ultimately, he was drafted by the Phoenix Suns back in some year. And anyway, and he had a horrible leg injury, like snapped it, and I saw that with Paul George too, with the Olympic team. Ultimately, it always sucks, and I feel for those dudes. But in 2020, we have modern medicine, so 6 months to a year, Dak will be back. They all come back. But we can do that now. 15 years ago, that would have ended your career.
Yeah, you'd have been done. You've been walking with a limp for a long time. You'd have been walking with a limp. I hate seeing guys get injured like that, man. You don't want to see anybody get injured. I mean, you're out there just playing a game, but, it was a violent sport, man. It's a violent sport. You could have your foot fucking turned around backwards at any time. Or fucking arm snapped. Shit happens, man. It's a violent sport. Sometimes everybody forgets, that it's a horribly violent sport. Big breaking news today, Prime. I don't know if this is how big breaking news it is. I mean, anything involving the Pro Bowl is not really gigantic. But there was news today. The Pro Bowl is going to be scratched, at least the game itself, for the 2020 season. So your 2021 Pro Bowl, which is played in 2021, the week before the Super Bowl, will not happen because you're not going to have fans in Allegiant Stadium. So there will be no game. They're going to have the activities and the like the fan experience and all that shit. But it's not going to be a Pro Bowl like normal this year. But they're giving Vegas the Pro Bowl the following year. So you'll have a full Pro Bowl with the game and everything the following year at Allegiant Stadium. So that was breaking news today from the league. Not kind of is what it is. Just going with the COVID shit, Prime.
Yeah. I mean, I think scratching the Pro Bowl. I mean, it sucks because, like, I admit, I actually watched the Pro Bowl. I enjoy the Pro Bowl. I think the NFL All-Star Game is great, you know. But I'm one of the few. But ultimately, what this does is provide some form of flexibility for the league. Right now, with all the, you know, postponements and games that are being moved around, with no Pro Bowl, that makes, you know, another week of a window for the NFL. So if they have to, you know, play a playoff game the week before the Super Bowl, which is entirely possible, then yeah, with no Pro Bowl, that makes it completely doable. And yet they're still going to have all of the Pro Bowl events this year.
Yep. Yeah, they said they were still going to have activities like the fan experience and stuff there. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think that allows for a little more flexibility. And it still allows you to have some sort of an event, you know, based around the players that are selected. They're going to select a Pro Bowl team. They're just not going to play a Pro Bowl game. So.
Yeah, I mean, still, I guess, with the Pro Bowl being in Vegas, I mean, that's just the first of many events, I think, that are going to be held in that beautiful stadium. I mean, as soon as you can add people to it, I think that's what the NFL is really waiting for. They're hoping that they can have attendance, you know, sometime in 2021. That would be pretty fantastic. And with that, though, are they? I mean, where are they doing the events and such this year? Is that still? Where's that?
I'm not sure. I haven't really seen where that's going to be exactly. Because if you're not going to be able to use the stadium itself, are they going to use the stadium grounds, training facilities? I mean, it is Vegas, so it's not like you've got a plethora of, you know, places you can hold events. So I'm not sure. I haven't really heard as to what the specifics are going to be as to where the other stuff's going to be. I'm sure more info will be coming out about that the closer we get to it.
All right. Well, yeah, I think it's a good move by the NFL. Of course, sometimes they're ahead of the curve. Not quite like the NBA, but that's a whole other story. But anyway, what's that?
This is true. Well, they did the bubble was.
You know, he should talk more to Adam Silver because man, they did things right. I mean, hell, I'll get to that sport here in a little while.
Yeah,
what do you say? What, you want to do some picks or what's going on?
Yeah, let's hit some picks right quick. And don't forget, man, the most important thing, if you become an official supporter at Raider Reaction, you'll see some of the cool kids in the audience tonight got that supporter badge instead of the top fan badge. If you become an official supporter at Raider Reaction, go to RaiderReaction.com, hit that supporters tab. All the info's right there. Or you can go to the top of the Facebook page, click that blue Become a Supporter button. What that does is on the first Thursday of every month, ourselves, RaiderNationStore.net, Motorsports.com, we give away a ton of silver and black prize packs. This last month we gave away 17. I think it was 20 the month before that, like 21 the month before that. If you are an official supporter, that gives you a ball assigned number. A number assigned ball, in the hopper, assigned to your name, and you have a chance to win every single prize we're going to give away that night. It's first Thursday of every month. You got to be a supporter of Raider Reaction to get in on the raffle. So help support the cause, help us paint the world silver and black, and kick it down. It's very cheap. It's $4.99 a month, man. Every prize is worth more than that. So help paint the world silver and black. Become an official supporter. Get you in the Dark Side Inner Circle group and all that other good shit. Plus there's other perks. And yes, Prime, it's time to make some picks. We're going to hit Sunday Night Football. No Thursday Night Football this week, Prime, because the week was slid later. You've got a Monday Night Football doubleheader this week. So we were going to pick some primetime games. Raiders got the week off, so we will not be picking a Raider game this week. But let's start with Sunday Night Football, the first primetime game on the agenda. You've got your Los Angeles Rams going on the road playing the San Francisco 49ers. What do you think about this game, Prime? It's an interesting matchup here for Sunday Night Football. You got the 2-3 Niners, who are a fucking mash unit. They need this win bad to even have any hopes for their season. Against the 4-1 Rams, who are looking like maybe that close to that team they were when they went to the Super Bowl. What do you think about this matchup? The Niners got a chance at home?
You're absolutely right. I mean, the 49ers are a match unit, and the Rams are looking good. I will say that Jimmy Garoppolo is coming back. I mean, he came back last week, but, man, he did not look so good.
No.
He's done some more rehab on that ankle sprain he's got. I think it's a high ankle sprain. That's real tough. And he was throwing all arm and throwing interceptions, man. He looked terrible against Miami.
Well, he's been off and doing nothing but nailing porn stars, Prime, so he's probably worn out and a little out of shape. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they got to do that thing they used to do where, like, athletes, you don't have sex the night before the game.
Brian says 38-10 Rams. Damn. Brian has no love for him. He doesn't think the Niners have a chance. I could be bad. It could be an ugly one, Prime. I don't know if Brian's far off.
Could very well be. I mean, they got Robert Woods hitting on all cylinders, Cooper Kupp. I got to go Rams over Niners, and it's going to be big.
That's right, man. I watched that game.
Two broke down for a real competitive game.
Brian's right, man. I watched that game last week. I had Fitzmagic starting on my fantasy team, and the beard lit them the fuck up, man. Lit them up. It was not good. I'm hoping the beard does it again this week against the Jets, too, so you can lead me to a victory. But, yeah, that was Rams, I think, absolutely run a fucking train on the Niners. I don't think it's even going to be close. It's going to be an ugly, ugly game for Sunday Night Football. Ugly.
Yeah, they better learn how to make a lot of sandwiches if they're running that train. Anyway, so I got to go Rams over Niners in that as well.
All right. Now, big doubleheader here on Monday Night Football in the early game. I believe it's kicking off at like 5 Eastern time, or it's some goofy fucking time. Yeah, 5 p.m. Eastern kickoff. So it's going to be 4 Central. What is that? Fucking 2 on the West Coast. Kickoff time. You've got 4-1 Kansas City on the road at 4-1 Buffalo. Buffalo just got absolutely fucking slobber knocked last night, Prime. I mean, the Titans. I know it didn't count. It was on a play. It was obviously a flag. But did you see the stiff arm? The Derrick Henry? Oh my God.
Did I see the stiff arm?
Good.
He invoked the spirit of Marshawn Lynch with that stiff arm, man. That's what he did. Man, that stiff arm, man, that embarrassed his children. His children's children. Like, his children's children are going to feel that stiff arm because they're still going to be laughed at and pointed at everywhere they go.
He sent that motherfucker horizontal, man. That's the most heinous.
Is that Josh Norman?
Jesus.
Josh Norman, man, he should change his name to not first name for a last name. That's what he should do.
He should do something, man. Good Lord. Keith's picking the Chiefs 34-30. This is going to be an interesting one, and I think this is going to be an interesting one for both teams, Prime, for the identity of both of these teams in 2020. Now, we know the Chiefs obviously won last year, but, defending the crown and going back again is a totally different thing. They lost. They lost at home. Do they bounce back and, does it not even faze them? Are they that type of team? We're going to see.
I think, man, Buffalo, they're going to put a few more chicks through tables somewhere in Buffalo, and that is going to propel them to a win. I think Buffalo wins this. They just saw the recipe, or another recipe, a recipe unlike any other recipe that's been shown to beat
the
Chiefs.
And they, like we said, they were beatable that.
Josh Allen. What's that?
Oh, I'd say they looked beatable that week before too against the Patriots. You've seen two teams, kind of expose them.
Yeah. And now Josh Allen is going to be there, and he's going to launch the ball downfield to Stephon Diggs and whatnot. Yeah, I mean that's going to happen. That's going to be a shootout. But I got to go something like 34-30 Buffalo.
Oh, Buffalo. Taking Buffalo over the Chiefs. I think this is going to be a game where you see what kind of team Buffalo is. They come out, everybody's been stroking them all year. They've been riding the high, and they took one on the chin, and it wasn't just a loss, man. I mean, they got fucking beat down. And that was an embarrassing loss. They got absolutely shellacked. It was in fucking prime time. Everybody's seen it. Everybody's been talking about the Bills. So I think this is going to be an interesting game to see how the Bills bounce back. I hope the Bills win. I hope they can take down the Chiefs. I don't think it's going to happen, man. I think the Chiefs beat the Bills on the road. I think I said it last week. I thought the Bills were overrated. I think they were a little overrated, and I think Tennessee showed it. I think the Raiders game was closer than the final score. The Raiders had a chance to take that game over in the second half, and they didn't, and allowed Buffalo to get off the hook. And I think the Titans showed you that they're a little overrated. So I think the Chiefs bounced back and they beat them soundly, actually. So we'll see.
I mean, you think so? All right. So you're going Chiefs. I'm going Bills.
I'm picking the Chiefs in this one. I think they bounce back and beat them. I hope to hell you're right. I hope I'm wrong. I don't believe in Buffalo yet. I don't believe in Buffalo yet.
The Chiefs are lucky it's not later in the year when this game is happening, when it's like frigid cold and they got snow and whatnot, man. I mean,
that's where it's going to get interesting, Prime, is if Buffalo ends up getting a higher seed, and you're going to have New England that's possibly going to, be up there too, and you got one of those teams is going to win that AFC East, and they're probably going to have a chance to host a game up there in that cold-ass part of the country.
Yep. I mean, that's the breaks, man.
Yeah.
And hopefully someone else can finish with a higher seed than them, and maybe make those upstate New York teams come down south a bit.
Yeah, be nice. It'd be nice. Now, all right, so we've got one more game. That's your early game. Like I said, that's a 5 p.m. Eastern kickoff time. That is an early game for Monday Night Football. And then around your regular kickoff time, which is 8:15 Eastern, you've got 3-2 Arizona going on the road to face the Red Rifle, 2-3 Dallas.
Oh, it's a classic Cardinals-Cowboys matchup.
Yes.
Man, they seem to play a lot. But, oh my gosh. So, basically every team that has played the Cowboys has been able to go off.
Just
so
a ton of
Kyler
points.
Murray and company, they are just going to have a field day. Arizona's going to win. That's without a doubt, dude. Christian Kirk, oh, man.
It's going to be big. It's going to be big. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys get fucking shellacked this week. I think you see what you're going to have to deal with Dalton at quarterback. I don't know. It's not going to be good.
Dalton's a shade above NFL average, but that's not saying a whole lot. And, yeah, they're not going to win this game because Kyler Murray, I think he's special. He was my way too early prediction for the MVP this year, so...
Really?
We'll see how that goes.
Kyler Murray?
Man.
What are you
Kyler
smoking?
Murray. Why? I mean, it was, to me, I noticed a trend. Last year was Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson won his MVP in year number 2. Patrick Mahomes won it the year before. And actually, that was his second year as a starter.
Kyler Murray.
This year would be the second year for Kyler Murray. And if he stole Houston's wide receiver, man. Boy.
Kyler Murray. I don't know about MVP and all that. We'll see. I mean, if they do win this game, they'll be 4-2. So they'll be pushing in the right direction. So I don't know.
All right, it's funny. I know I'm not on screen, but that doesn't mean I don't see what's happening on screen. I'm just saying.
Oh, that's funny. This guy, I don't know. Kyler Murray. I'm not sold on Kyler Murray yet. But
sometimes I'm a little out there. Sometimes I get sipping on the syrup. You know what I'm saying?
You were right. You was hitting on Jimmy Graham last week. I mean, you hit him. You guys, so.
What?
I said you hit on to Jimmy Graham, he showed up last week.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Oh, did you watch Prime's Fantasy Island coming on tomorrow around 6 p.m.-ish, 7 p.m.-ish?
Yes, right before your kickoff, get your last minute fantasy nuggets from Prime. Be on the island. The
Tell
fantasy.
me, I got nuggets, and I have not have drinking as much as I have now. So there.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So every Wednesday night, as you see, it's not you stopping in. It's not all Raider talk here on Wednesday night. We like to spin around the league, touch on all the hot league topics. Prime is our Raider Reaction resident sports guru, and the end of Ghost to the Post, we like to take a little spin around the sports world and get you caught up on everything else that's going on. So the NBA, we touched on it earlier, Prime. They pulled the bubble off and to perfection. Great finals. It was supposed to be. It looked like it was going to be the Lakers were going to come in and just absolutely run over the Heat. The story almost ended up being more about the guy on the team that lost than it was about the team that won. Jimmy Buckets. I mean, Jesus Christ, that guy damn near put that team on his back and made it relevant. You know, that was a hell of a individual effort.
Yeah. Jimmy Butler, man, he became one of my favorite players while in the bubble. One of the first stories I heard from the NBA about the bubble is that there was a complaint that whoever was staying in the room above this person, they were just banging around and causing a ruckus at like some odd hour in the morning, like 3, 4 in the morning. So they call the front desk or security or whoever, and security goes up there, and it's Jimmy Butler dribbling in his room. Like, it's like 3:30 in the morning, old boys just cross over, and he's doing all kinds of dribbling drills in his room. And the people below didn't like the sound of that basketball. But Jimmy Butler became one of my favorite players. Plus, the way he put the team on his back through the playoffs, it was pretty amazing. Tyler Hero is butter. Dude, that guy, he was a rookie. He's like 20 years old. He can't even buy a beer. And he's hitting smooth-ass mid-range J's all through the playoffs, man. But the Lakers were just too much. They had LeBron James, you know. They had Anthony Davis. God, they got the Morris brother, that one Morris, you know. I mean, the Rondo. You can't stop playoff Rondo. Well, you know, like, man, Rondo is such. He's one of the best pure point guards in the NBA still. Rondo. I know it's crazy, but I'm talking about pure point guards, and Rondo is the epitome of that. Like, man, the Lakers, they were solid. They're too strong, and obviously, the Heat couldn't keep up. I thought they might take it to a Game 7, but it was pretty obvious in Game 6 how quickly that NBA championship was going to be over on the Lakers side.
Yeah, they made it interesting, but ultimately, I think, you know, with the Kobe story and everything all tied in, it was the Lakers' season to win, and you know, it was nice to see them get them done. So they got the Mickey Mouse championship now to add with all the rest of them, and so good for them. Good for them. I think the biggest news, Prime, over the sports world in the last 24 hours or so was Conor McGregor's going to fight again. He's coming back to the UFC.
Yeah, he's going to fight Poirier or
Poirier, or whatever the fuck it is, whatever country you're standing in. But, yeah, that should be an interesting fight. McGregor's going to demand a lot of money for this fight. I'm on both sides of the fence. I'm a little on either side of the fence here for McGregor. I don't know where I'm at with this guy. He's somewhat entertaining, but he doesn't stick around long enough to, he's going to have some ring rust, man. He's human. You got to continue to fight. You can't take years off at a time. You just can't.
Well, I mean, he fought earlier this year.
I know,
He fought the Cowboy, Donald Cerrone, and knocked him out with a head kick in the shoulder. Mm-hmm. You know, like, in fact, McGregor was actually pushing for this fight to be held in 2020. He didn't want to wait until January 23rd, you know, where it's scheduled now. He wanted that fight to happen this year. I don't know why McGregor was sort of itching to get into another fight this year. I mean, I guess I do, actually.
Probably just to stay.
He's a fighter, then, man, he ought to want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't care how many millions you made or how many, what your thread count is on your satin sheets, man. Like, yeah, if you're a fighter, you're a fighter. Now, as for Conor McGregor, though, you know, he is an entertainer, man. There's nobody that doesn't like him. And when he's winning, he wins spectacularly. Like, Some of his kicks and knockouts, man, that guy, man, his left hand is a piston. Man, I mean, Conor McGregor is a show to see. I'm glad he's in the UFC. He makes the UFC better.
Well, I would rather have him in than I would just like to see, if you guys are going to be in, I'd like to see these guys be a little more active. But I think it would help if there was a little more fucking money in it too. I don't think these guys make enough. Nobody gets paydays like McGregor gets, and there should be more guys getting paydays like McGregor gets. So
yeah, but none of those guys generate views like McGregor does. That's the thing. You know, if any of these guys could sell a pay-per-view like McGregor does, they would get paid like McGregor does.
It would help. It would help a little bit. But, when you see the guys that, like, with the payouts of, nobody even made over $500,000 in the last big pay-per-view when you had the Stylebender fighting. So, I mean, to see guys at that level, like, that's one of your champions. He's one of your premier guys, and, he's not even busting $500,000. I mean, it just doesn't seem... That just doesn't seem right to me. Because I know they made some money on that pay-per-view. A lot more than to pay the fucking headliner less than $500,000. So, I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a tough world in the UFC, and eventually, I don't know, things will work itself out right. In the meantime, I sit back and enjoy everything they're doing on Fight Island. I think that, besides the NBA, who went by with, no COVID cases, actually, I think one corner man got COVID or something like that, so he couldn't come out.
Yeah, the UFC did it pretty clean, too. They did it pretty clean as well.
Yeah.
The NHL also was, the way they pulled off their postseason was very clean as well. They did they did bubble sites, somewhat kind of like the NBA did, and they had very, very little COVID issues as well. That was a clean postseason. Tampa Bay Lightning took it. Go Bolts. As Stamkos and Hedman and all them fucking won the championship.
He played like 2 minutes in the playoffs.
I don't give a fuck. He's the captain, god damn it. Did you hear the story, man? They come out and there's a story today. It was in the where the fuck did I see it? WDAE, I think. That they passed him when he got the puck and he's moving up the fucking ice. He felt the muscle tear and he continued up the ice and still scored anyway. After he felt the muscle tear again and knew he was done, he wasn't gonna go back out. He was gonna score that goal, which I thought was just fucking awesome. That's just fucking badass. This makes that 2 minutes even cooler, Prime.
Yeah. Gotta love hockey legends, man. I don't care. You go ahead and you start your Madden 21 league there. Anyone want to come see me on hockey, man?
We should get a hockey league going, man. That's what I'm talking about. I play some hockey.
Yeah, come see.
Video game hockey, some shit. Oh, it's great. Okay, I can't breathe for like 20 minutes, but it's all right. Fuck, you can't stop, man. There's nothing. You can't even fucking take a breath. It's crazy. Major League Baseball playoffs are going on right now, too. We got the Rays and the Stros going 2-4. Dodgers freaking annihilated the Braves earlier to come back. They're down 2-1. I think it's going to be a Braves-Rays World Series. I don't think the Astros come back. You're down 3-0. Even if they win this game, they're up 4-2 right now with 3 innings left to play.
Nah, the Astros are a bunch of cheaters anyway, man.
Fucking trash can banging fuckers. Fuck those guys.
There's not someone with a trash can giving them signs, man. You don't know what the pitch is, dude.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't hit the ball as well.
Baseball is a game of integrity, man. Come on. You done soiled the game. You fucking bastards.
Do you realize the bullet that the Astros dodged? The pandemic was actually a good thing for the Houston Astros because no matter where they went, they were just going to be just ridiculed, booed.
Oh, yeah.
People would have threw shit. They would have lost their friggin' minds anytime Houston came to town. Dude, they got so lucky because they didn't have to face any of those fans who would have let them have it.
You ain't kidding either, man. It would have been brutal. They'd been throwing shit at him, booing him. It would have been bad. It would have been a bad season for them. Yeah, because now next year you're gonna be a season removed from that. And, fans got a short memory, man. They're not gonna hold them like they would have this year. Oh, this year they would have.
No.
Bad. It'd have been bad. But
I'm one of those fans that holds on to my boos, man. If I didn't get to boo you then the next time
I would.
Whatever that may be, I'm going to get you.
Oh, I'll boo the Astros forever. They're going to be cheating cocksuckers in my eyes for the rest of my life. Because, I mean, last year the Rays played them, and we got eliminated by the Astros. And, we had a good chance to go to the World Series last year, and the Rays got bounced directly by the fucking Stros. Fuck them. Fuck them. That's like some Black Sox shit, man. That's unforgivable.
Yep. You the lady, Nancy Vargas. You are out there saying, we're going to remember. Hell yeah, we're going to remember. Every man. I hope anyone that watches this thing all the way late into the show as it is, actually, man, if you see a baseball game, if you happen to see the Astros, if they come to your town, and you go to that game,
You boo the shit out of them.
Boo the hell out of them.
Fuck the Astros, man. That's everything that's wrong about sports right there. I mean, that's like high level cheating, man. You got a spotter out in the stands, fucking signaling, radioing into somebody who's beating on a fucking can. That everybody's in on it at that point. Everybody knows that.
Everybody.
This is
got out scot-free.
Yeah, it's fucking. It was such shit, man. They had a slap on the wrist. Nothing really happened to him. Yeah, total such shit. Such shit. Yeah, total garbage. Total garbage. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube channel, join the official group of Raider Reaction, the Raider Reaction Empire. Come to the dark side and become an official supporter of Raider Reaction. Help us continue to paint the world silver and black. Help us keep streaming games for you, bringing you game replays, classic games, opinions, commentary shows, Fantasy Island, Afternoon Drive, all that shit, Prime.
Yeah, tune in tomorrow for the Fantasy Island, and I will answer your fantasy football questions to help you set that lineup for the weekend there. Hopefully bring you a W. I know I've dropped some dimes as of lately, so if you play fantasy football, you should tune in.
There you go. There you go. Don't miss out. Don't miss out. Tomorrow night, right before kickoff, get your last minute nuggets from Prime. And then before that, a few hours before that, you got the afternoon drive with Big L. And man, he's all over the road for your afternoon drive. So make sure you tune into that. And then we'll have the Black Friday morning show and the Black Friday game. And then we're into the weekend. A bye week. We all get to just sit back and chill, have barbecue, watch everybody else play and shit. Until next time, Prime, we're out of here. Peace.
We're out.
Love.
Football fans, Raider Nation.
Raider Nation.
Gotcha.